ready to do battle?
Ready.
Well, if you're going into battle, you'll probably want something like this.
Am I gonna have to wear a suit of armor to forge a knife?
Your first round challenge is to combine steel from that suit of armor with the high carbon steel on your anvil to forge a signature blade. How you choose to do this is entirely up to you. The blades themselves must fall within the following parameters. The length of the blade, not including the tang, must fall between 10 and 14 inches. The overall length of your weapon must not exceed 22 inches. Your 3-hour forge time starts now. We didn't give them enough high carbon steel to meet the blade requirements, so they're gonna need a lot of steel off of this suit of armor over here.
Bar stock's what? 2.5 inches long? So I know that I need to use a lot of knight in shining armor, guys. You'll want to get 10 to 14 inches out of that.
I think the hardest part of this challenge is actually getting the armor, prepped and having it stick.
I like that technique.
So Clayton has that one leg piece.
Right to his anvil, flattening that piece out.
Next, after I flatten the pieces of the armor, take them to the bandsaw and cut them down to size, and then tack weld the whole thing together into a billet.
I'm in the clamps.
My plan is to use armor and put the high carbon core right in between.
I hope it sticks, man.
I'm rushing as I'm welding because, the clock just, ticking. I saw the ends start to pop, so it's now welding. But I'd say to myself, stay calm, try to work it through, but I'm panicking. I gotta make it stick.
He's got a weld on the side of that billet that's not closing up, and he's trying to use the flux to clean it out. It's not going to do it. If it doesn't stick the first time, and all the extra fluxing and fluxing is not going to make it stick. Either grind that piece off or cut the scale that's built up in there out, and then close it up again.
So I've got 3 pieces of the armor, and then I've got 2 pieces that I got from my carbon stock. Hopefully that'll be enough.
Chase actually chiseled his billet, folded it over, and he's now forge welding it again. So he's doing multiple layers. The word for today is flux.
I never realized that I used all that much flux.
People will do what they know, but do they know why?
It's just kind of how I do it.
It is like seasoning your steak.
I figure, it's better to have too much than too little.
I understand fluxing the edge where you can see all the layers. What is the point of fluxing the flat part where you can't see the edges?
I don't want to flux and talk about it. Just fluxing up the whole situation. You'll be swimming afterwards.
Bladesmiths, you have only 60 minutes remaining.
Oh, that's cruel when you say only. You know that.
Looks like Mike got a good shape to his blade. I'm not sure how long his handle is.
My secret weapon.
Mike has brought the most interesting tool. It looks like a billy club.
They'll call it a schwacker. You can beat on the steel without deforming it too much so you lose your shape.
And Mike's in the quench.
I think I've got most of the rough shaping out.
Chase's blade very, very thin.
So now I'm able to go and heat treat it. I get that edge, just cherry red where I want it.
And he's
Oh,
in.
that was nowhere near hot enough.
And I don't see any cracks, so that makes me very happy.
I have a feeling at least 3/4 of that blade is still soft.
And Alan, the clock's right above him.
Running out of time.
I'm gonna make a dang knife by a magic. Time is just escaping from me, and I'm getting down to just a fraction of the amount of time that I would like to have.
Where's that blade, boy?
Alan's coming out of the oil. If he's got any problems, it could be all over for him.
Bad weld! I see a bad weld kind of at the base of the blade. If I'm lucky, I can grind through that weld. I've got like 2-3 minutes. I hate to hope that the other guys maybe are having a worse day, but it's tight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut down your machine. Stop your work.
To me, bladesmithing is actually about reducing stress. But this challenge is like running marathon with a sprint pace in Russian steam bath.
How do you feel?
Didn't end up quite like I wanted it to.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right, judges, we'll start with Clayton's blade on the end there.
My favorite thing about this blade is this is exactly what he drew. He's got a couple little spots, but they're not D-lams, and it should do everything we've asked him to do in a knife.
All right, let's take a look at Mike's blade.
Well, Mike's got a nice shape with this recurve. Up here at the tip, you've got that delamination that's traveling down that way a little bit there. I think he'll be able to grind through these. But all in all, I think the shape, once he puts a tip on that, it's going to be nice.
Okay, so let's move on to Chase's blade.
He ran out of material, and he made this very skinny knife. He does have a lot of delamination back here. He's got a lot of issues in the spine.
All right, let's move on to the next blade.
I really like the profile of this blade. The D-lam is in a non-critical area. I don't see it coming apart if I'm poking stuff or cutting stuff.
Judges, have you made your final decision?
Yep.
Let's go tell our Smiths. Bladesmiths, the judges have deliberated your work and they've made a final decision. It's time for one of you to leave the forge. Chase, your weapon did not make the cut.
Chase, you put up a good fight out there, but in the end, you had some really deep cold shuts all the length of the spine. So I think of that more like a cancer deep in the blade, and that's why we're sending you home.
Chase, please surrender your weapon.
I'm feeling a little disappointed, but at the same time, there's one thing that I would like my siblings and my family to know. One of the most important things you can do in life is try really hard, and if you fail the first time, that's okay. You just gotta keep trying. The key is to not give up.